Everything we do from now on relates to the time value of money, particularly from the point of view of present value and future value. So we'll be looking at that in all of these applications right throughout the course in one way or another. Sometimes we have two options: accept an amount of money now or take an amount of money later, or an amount of money that could have come to us a year and a half ago versus now. So sometimes we got that type of situation where we're saying, which option would be best for us, now or later? Okay. And what we really need to be able to do is to measure, is one better than the other, or are they the same? And obviously, from a business point of view, we're going to want to maximize our return. Okay. So we're going to take any investment that has the maximum benefit to us. So in finance, we need to compare two investment opportunities and then determine which one has the most advantage to us. So we use the present value and the future value calculations to do this. So the stuff that we just finished, we're going to take a look at in terms of an application. So here is just carrying on with my example that I brought up earlier with regards to some money. Let's assume you had $100 now. Someone said to you, I'll give you $100 now, or I'll give you $105 in the future. What are you going to take? Effectively, should I take $100 now, or should I hold out for a year and get $105? And the natural question that you need to ask is, well, what is the rate of interest that I can potentially get on that investment? If I put $100 in a bank, what would it take to build up to $105 in the future to make it equivalent? So let's assume that it's 5%. Well, we know that if we put $100 in the bank earning 5%, in 1 year, it will add up to $105. So they become equivalent. You could take $100 now or $105 in 1 year from now if you knew the interest rate was 5%, because you could put that $100 that you got now in the bank earning 5%, and you would have exactly the same thing as what you had you suggested, I'll wait for a year and you give me $105 then. So this, a more practical application, there are some examples in the textbook, for example. Now, as I say, some of you with the new book, this will be 7.4, okay? Herb is supposed to pay $1,500 to Rajat on September 20th. Herb wishes to delay the payment until December 1st. Okay, so on September 20th, Herb was supposed to pay $150. And Herb comes to Rajat and says, look, I can't pay it right now. Can I pay it on December 1st? So the question is, what's Ranjit going to be wanting on December 1st? Is it an amount more than $1,500? Okay, so what would be an equivalent amount? So what amount should Herb expect to pay on December 1st if Ranjit can earn 2.25% on a low-risk investment? So that's effectively, how much extra is he going to have to pay in order to wait for that couple of months? So the first thing we need to do is to figure out, well, how long a distance is September 20th to December 1st? So we do our days counting that we've seen, and we know based on the table that we could use, the counting table that I showed you earlier, that it would come up to 72 days. Okay, so we got 72 days of difference between a payment now, September 20th, and a payment December 1st. We know that the interest rate is 2.25%. So considering we know the amount of money, $1,500, we know the time period, 72 days, and we know the interest, we can calculate the future value of $1,500 in 72 days' time, assuming a 2.25% interest rate, and that will tell us the amount of money that Ranjit should accept on December 1st, okay? 72 days later. So it would draw out on a number line like this, $1,500 now for 72 days. What is the amount worth on December 1st? So let's say. So substituting P for $1,500, T for 72 days out of 365, and a rate of 2.25%, which is 0.00225, 0.0225, I should say. we just plug that into the future value formula. So that's $1,500 equals 1 plus 0.0225 over 72 over 365. And that will come to $1,506.66. So Herb should expect Ramjet to want $1,506.66 on December 1st instead of the $1,500 now. That has to deal with the time value of money. Okay? So suppose that Herb makes the $1,500 payment as scheduled on September 20th, since Ramjet could earn 2.25% rate of return by December 1st. We could look at it that way too and say, well, how much could Ramjet gather up? Well, if we took the same formula and plugged the number in, Ramjet would gather up $1,506.66. So effectively, the payment would be equivalent. Here's another example. What is the value of a payment to be received on March 12 if it's economically equivalent to $1,000 originally due on the subsequent July 6th if money is worth 6.8% per year? So we've got what is the value of a payment to be received on March 12th if it is economically equivalent to a $1,000 payment originally due on the subsequent July 6th. So we can draw a number line or a timeline as is done in this problem. So what we're looking for is really the equivalent payment for the earlier date. So we got March 12th was the date the value was supposed to be received, or July 6th. So here we are, July 6th. So it was originally due to be paid on July 6th. So that $1,000 is July 6th. And we're looking, and that distance between March 12th and July 6th, if we calculate the number of days, is 116 days. So what we really need to find out is how much is that $1,000 on July 6th worth on the March 12th that fell before it, or 116 days earlier. So then all we need to do then is to calculate the present value of that $1,000, discount it back 116 days, at a rate of 6.8% per year. So we've got 116 days. We plug the numbers into the present value formula. So S, which is the future value, is 1,000. 1 plus the rate, which is 0.068, and the time, which is 116 days divided by 365, and that will come to 978.85. So in other words, 978.85 on March 12th would be the equivalent to $1,000 on July 6th. Okay? Another example, calculating a prior equivalent payment. A furniture store advertises a dining table and chairs for $1,495 with nothing down, no payments, no interest for 6 months. So what cash price should the store be willing to accept if on a 6 month investment, it could earn a rate of return of first 4%? So let's just deal with one at a time. So, you could pay $1,495 down now. You go in, here's the chair, the table for $1,495, no interest, no payments, and so on for 6 months. So what you're really saying is, what if you had cash on the barrel there on that day, you should be able to get it for less than $1,495, because let's be serious, the interest is built into the price. So if you could pay for it right now, you should get it at a lower rate. So assuming a 4% rate of interest, the going rate of interest that's out there, if you took 4%, you could find the present value of the $1,495 for the 6 months, which is 6 over 12, assuming a rate of 4%. If you walked in with $1,465.69 right now, and you said to them, I want to buy that table, and they say, well, it's $1,495, no money down, no interest, no nothing. Well, you'd say, well, if I gave you $1,465.69 now, you should accept it because it's equivalent to $1,495 in 6 months' time. The deal even gets better, or you should accept the less money if the interest rate is higher. Let's assume the interest rate was 9%. Again, same calculation, it's just the rate is different. and you will get $1,430.62. In other words, 6 months earlier, that $1,495 should be only worth $1,430.62. So if you walked in with $1,430.62 and the going rate was 9%, they should accept that now, as opposed to allowing you to pay $1,495 in 6 months' time. So that's kind of like what we're looking at with these equivalencies, is saying, okay, we got a couple of different dates. Let's compare one with the other. But it is no different, and the mechanics of it is no different from what we've done with the present value and future value calculations. Yet another example, comparing the economic values of alternative payments. So Marcus can purchase an airplane ticket now at the airline's early bird sale for $495 or $459. Or he can wait and pay $479 in 9 months. So it's a now amount and a future amount. Okay? $459 versus $479. So $20 more. Should he pay now? Should he wait? If he can earn a 3% rate of interest on money, what option should he choose? Well, we can compare. We can find out the present value of the $479 and say, well, how much is that worth now? So if he did the calculation, I'm assuming 3%, the present value of $479 is $468.46. So he can buy a ticket now for $459, or the equivalent value of the $479 now is $468.46. So Marcus really needs to choose the option that's best economically for him, right? This is the decision-making process that's going on. So he's going to have to choose the one that has a lower economic value. That is, he should buy the ticket at the early bird price, because the early bird price is a better deal than the $479 discounted back 9 months, assuming a rate of 3%. And you would think that, okay, well, what is his true savings? Well, the true savings is $468.46, which is what it's worth, what that $479 ticket is worth right now. You can get it for $459. So the difference between $459 and $468 is $9.46. So as a result, that gives them a little bit of a better deal. Yet another example. Here we've got a couple of payments on the go. So what rate of return would Marcus have to earn in order to be indifferent to the two prices? So what we're trying to do here is to say, okay, look, you got the two tickets. One's $459, the other one's $479, or the other price is $479. What would the interest rate really have to be in order to make two of them economically equivalent? Well, there's a $20 difference between the two. So the rate of return that would cause this to occur would simply, we just take the I equal PRT formula and put it in. So $20 is the interest, which is effectively what we're dealing with, the difference between the two prices. The $459 is principal. The time is 9 months over 12. So if it was a 5.8%, realistically, he'd be indifferent to buying the ticket now or buying it in 9 months' time. Effectively, that's what that's saying.